My name is David Sung. I'm the president of Nicola Wealth Management, and on behalf of all of us at Nicola Wealth, I'd like to welcome all of you, both our clients and our guests, and to thank you all for joining us this evening. It's that time of year when they give out awards, and as I'm sure many of you heard, Bohemian Rhapsody won the Golden Globe, won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. So with the Oscars just around the corner, in fact, I think it's about a month away, I thought I would ask all of you, why did the Scarecrow win the award? Because he is outstanding in his field. Maybe a little chilly reception on that. I know all of you didn't come here tonight for my stand-up comic bit. You came here for one thing, and that's the topic of real estate, so let's jump right in. Throughout history, some of the world's most successful and well-known families have built significant wealth by owning and investing in real estate. About 5 years ago, I think, one of my business partners and I, Wayman Crosby, we co-authored a newsletter titled Invest Like a Kennedy, How to Build a Personal Real Estate Empire. So to help set the stage for our speakers this evening and our panel, and by the way, we have an awesome panel this evening, I thought I would resurrect a small bit from that newsletter. When most of us hear the name Kennedy, we think of America's royal family. They're certainly one of the most well-known U.S. political families. Their children and grandchildren, they are descendants of wealth and high esteem. But how did they build their wealth? It all started with Joe Kennedy, who back in the 1930s and 40s began to build a good portion of that family wealth through headline-making businesses such as banking, a brokerage firm that did insider trading, which was partially legal at that time, by the way, as well as a liquor importation business. And he started to build the family wealth. And while the liquor importation business, the brokerage firm, and even the financing of Hollywood films were all headline-making, what most people do not know is that the vast majority of the Kennedy family wealth was built by owning and investing in real estate. And it all began in 1945 when Joe Kennedy struck a deal to purchase the Merchandise Mart in Chicago for just under $13 million. This asset proved to be the foundation of the family financial fortune for generations to come. Now, at the time of the purchase, the Merchandise Mart was the largest commercial structure in the United States with just over 4 million square feet. Now, the Kennedy family, they did eventually sell this asset in 1998 for a little over $600 million. It's funny, when I think of the Kennedy brothers, this would be the type of multifamily residential real estate, doghouse-style asset that I could see the Kennedy brothers investing in. But joking aside, the Kennedy family certainly got investing in real estate right. Now, for those of you who are clients, I know you've seen this slide many times before. This is how the average Canadian has their capital invested. This depicts and shows how the average Canadian balanced mutual fund has their capital invested, and it's often referred to as the classic 60-40 investment portfolio because of its allocation to publicly traded stocks and bonds. And while the slide that I just shared with you showed the average in Canada, here are some specific brand name examples, maybe to help provide a little bit more context. And as you can see, they're all virtually identical, with roughly 55 to 60% invested in the public markets and the balanced in fixed income. Now, what is clear and noticeable is an absence of any investment in hard asset real estate. So from a long-term investment perspective, performance, was this a good decision? Since January 1st of 2000, a 19-year track record, this is the performance of the average Canadian retail balanced mutual fund, 4.5%. Now, the good news is this is after their fees. The bad news is it's still 4.5%, and that's before both inflation and taxes. This is a slide that we've shared with some of our clients as well many times, and these are the updated statistics. These are two of Canada's largest and very successful public pension plans, and this is their long-term historic track record. And while their data wasn't available going all the way back to 2000, their long-term track record has significantly outperformed retail balanced mutual funds by a decent margin, 2.5% to 3.5% per year. 2.5% to 3.5% doesn't sound like a big number, but if I express it a different way, that's actually 55% to 77% per year in greater returns. And as all of you know, small changes in compounding can have a big impact on long-term future values. Now, our Nicola Wealth core portfolio model has a similar long-term track record to these pensions. Our data does go back to January 1st of 2000, taking into account two bear markets, both the tech bubble of 2000 and the subprime mortgage meltdown of 2008, and our long-term track record is very similar to these pensions. And what's in common is the diversified asset allocation model. And whether it's these large pensions, sovereign wealth funds, or large foundations such as Harvard and Yale, this diversified asset class model, of course it includes investing in the public markets, but it also includes investing in private equity, private debt, mortgages, farmland, infrastructure assets, including tolls, bridges, roads, dams, airports, and of course it includes investing in hard asset commercial real estate. Whether that's the Canada Pension Plan owning many of the AAA office towers across Canada and in other countries, or Ontario Teachers owning many of the largest retail shopping centers in our country, including the shopping center that they own up the street, Pacific Centre Shopping Mall, which is the largest shopping center in downtown Vancouver. All of these pensions have investing in hard asset real estate as a key component to their investment strategy.